Welcome to the Amarillo Exchange podcast. This is the After Hours podcast where we have a special episode today. We have Austin Capell with Weedman Lawn Services and Mosquito Hero. Would you like to tell us a little bit about those businesses and kind of what y'all do with all of that?
Yeah, so we two brands under one roof. So Mosquito Hero, start off there. It's obviously just mosquito control services, spraying lawns, landscapes, all the stuff for mosquito prevention throughout the spring and summer seasons. And then Weedman is our main business. Weedman, we do fertilizer, lawn care, fertilizer and weed control for the lawn care. Everything that you need for your health, diseases, overseedings, just anything and everything to make it look really pretty.
And so you've told us before that does not involve mowing your yard or anything like that,
right.
Correct? Yep.
Right. Yeah. No lawn mowing. We're not a full service lawn care company like landscaping, just literally just the health aspect of everything.
Okay. All right. So let's see. So how did you get into that line of work? And is that something that you always wanted to do, something you've always been interested, or just something that just happened to fall in your lap and was a good thing?
Yeah, kind of all of that. Lawn care, landscaping. It's always been a business avenue of mine, a little side hustles at time. I had my own business years and years ago. Always have done, been kind of that like do-it-yourselfer, stay off my lawn kind of guy. And then this opportunity with this business just kind of fell into place at the right time back in 23. Yeah, December 22, January 23, and just kind of hit the road running and never looked back.
Okay. So let's see. So when you first started your first business that you were talking about, so did you have a family or anything going into that, or was that just kind of like, I want to do this or I need to do this for my family, or how did that
get started? Yeah, the original was just I think I was, maybe just graduated high school, first year or two of college, and easy way to make money, not have to answer to anybody. Just kind of started mowing out of the back of my truck and really just kind of grew that, every year. I did it, I'd say 3 years, give or take 3 years, just really kind of building up just a lawn mowing business. No kids, no wife, no major responsibilities, pay the bills, get to work,
save the rest, or party with the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, cool. So you do have a family now, and I could see y'all at church pretty much every Sunday. You want to tell us a little bit about your family?
Yeah. So wife and 3 kids. We've got 1 kid at home. We've got two older kids. One lives in Wichita, Kansas. He's married, and then we've got a daughter that lives in Choctaw outside Oklahoma City. So she just graduated from OU. She's got engaged. Then we've got our 13-year-old who you see all the time. So she's here with us. So we just family of 3 here at home and kids spread out everywhere else.
Yeah. So did your work affect like them in any way whenever you were first getting started or anything like that? Or did it like make it hard to be around them, or was it easier to be around them?
No, this definitely...
it's hard to landscape at night.
Yeah, there's no landscaping at night. It makes it really easy. And the job I was having before this, I was working ungodly hours. We were nights, weekends, up early, home late. So this definitely, while there's a little bit more involvement day to day, that definitely makes it easier to spend time nights and weekends, and we have more flexibility to go and do, for sure,
the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
Well, neat. Let's see. So I guess beyond that, so you have like your family, it's your close family, work family, and tell us a little bit about your work family.
Yeah, so I've got, what do I have now? 5 people, five employees that work for me. So I've got two girls that work remote, answer the phones, so don't see them ever, honestly, ever. We talk, obviously a lot on the phone, but then I've got 3 guys here that actually do the day-to-day services. So we've got three trucks that run around the city. So really keeping tabs on those 3 guys.
You only have 3 trucks?
Yeah, we have 3 trucks. Yeah.
Crazy. That's wild, because I feel like I see all over
town.
I didn't even know that. That's wild. Okay.
Yeah, we cover everywhere: Bushland, Canyon, Panhandle, Amarillo, River Road. Like we are everywhere. So you see us all the time. But yeah, just 3 trucks. So those really, like, keeping up with those 5 people is a full-time job in itself. Just make sure they have what they need. The training, the human resources side of it, all of it, just it's a full-time job for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. So outside of work, what are like some things that you like to do by yourself, with your family? What are some just like other hobbies and things that you enjoy?
Man, we spend, like you said, at church, we do spend a lot of time at church as a family, just doing different things. I try to stay connected with a men's group that we do a lot of. We just hang out, breakfast, just guy things. And then
what church?
We go to Life Church here in Amarillo. And then outside of that, as a family, when we can, it's been less and less lately, but when we can, we try to get out, RV, go on road trips, see our older 2 kids. We did get to go to DC this past summer, so that was nice. Just a good long week getaway. But we like to when we can just get outdoors and do whatever we can.
Yeah. So whenever y'all go outdoors, do you like to fish? Do you like to 4-wheel? Do you like to hike, or just go set up an RV and just put a fire down and do nothing?
Yeah, kind of. That's really the thing lately. Like, if we do go out, it's like set up the RV and just hang out, relax. We get so busy in life in general, so just definitely hanging out, relaxing. We do hike. We don't as much anymore, but we used to mountain bike a little bit. But definitely, just hiking. We'll hit the golf course every once in a while. Pretty exciting. Yeah. A little frustrating sometimes, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah, you always got to have fun at the golf course and end up being very frustrated out there. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Do you have a favorite golf course? Do you like to go to golf courses when you go out of town, or do you just kind of like stick to the ones here and then do other stuff when you go out? Pretty
much just play here. Play a couple times. Like we do go to Orlando every year in December, so that's nice. We get to play golf there. So that's definitely my favorite course. Like, that's been my favorite one by far. But when we play here, usually we just go try to hit the par 3, play a little golf pretty quick and in and out and have a good time.
Have you seen the new club that it's just one club and you can rotate the face of it? And it's all of your irons 1 through 9 and even flat face to make it a putter.
No, I'll have to check this out.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up and send it to you. Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty neat. I was saying that would actually be the perfect club to take to par 3. Absolutely. Instead of trying to carry those 3 clubs around that you typically have or whatever, and then your one driver for the one and only long drive on there.
I just take my whole bag at this point. I'm like, it's not even worth pulling something out. Just take the whole bag and go with it.
I'll leave one of my clubs somewhere if I just take the 3 of them. Yeah. Well, let's see. So beyond golf and things like that, you're involved in the Amarillo Exchange group, and you are the interim president right now. President-elect, forced president by force, by choice. I don't know what it is, but yeah, that's a new development. So it's definitely not anything I'd ever been a part of before as far as a networking group. I kind of always thought, those people are full of themselves, but this group itself definitely been beneficial personally, business wise. It's just we just have a really, really good group of people that come every week. Yep. Nope. I agree. I think we do. And you do a very good job in your chair, holding people accountable and holding yourself accountable. Hey. We appreciate you. We like having you in the group.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as the group is concerned, obviously, we all have a business and we all are trying to progress our business and do more with it. So what would you say that your perfect referral would be if you needed somebody to come and utilize your services? What kind of person would that be?
Yeah, our perfect referral, obviously homeowners or property managers, but we really look for people that live in the higher end neighborhoods, the country neighborhoods, the big ones, Strawberry Fields and stuff like that, where people are building big lots. People that want to have a nice home, nice lawn. They understand the reasoning and the need, the property value aspect of having a nice lawn, but don't necessarily have the mindset or the desire to do it themselves. That's really what we're after.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I would imagine you probably stay out of like rental areas, like rental neighborhoods, things like that.
Yeah.
most of them don't even water their yard, much less
care
what it looks like.
We have pockets obviously all over town of some, especially in the northeast side of town. There's families that have lived there for 20, 30 years and they have really nice yards and they're great customers. But it's definitely not our target area just because there is so much on the side of just people not caring for their property as much.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. I think you're exactly right. Even in my neighborhood, there's like, I would say 60% of the 2 blocks that like I share, people take care of their yards and have nice yards. And then there's people who I don't even know if they own a water hose or a sprinkler or anything. Their yard is just always dry, always brown.
Yeah.
And carrying weeds into my yard.
There's a lot of those around here.
Yep. How funny. So let's see. So you said that you're kind of a stay off my lawn kind of guy. So you take care of your yard top to bottom. Is it the best looking yard on the block?
I'd like to think so. I think there's times where it could always be better. Obviously business gets in the way of what I can do for my yard, but it is at the end of the day, it's like, if I want somebody to go look at a yard and say, hey, this is what we do, like I'm going to point them in my direction because I know that it's perfect.
Yeah, it's taken care of.
It's kind of my business card, really.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Well, yeah, I know we've talked about it a few times, but I'm going to have to get you to come out and look at my yard.
Yeah, for sure.
Either have some white walkers in my yard or something going on. I don't know. We talked about it being mold. I don't know if it's necessarily mold. I think it might actually be like sunspots in a couple of spots.
Yeah, there's a lot of that hot spot.
There's a few spots in my yard that just don't get one bit of shade the entire day, so it's just sun up to sundown.
They'll start to cook this time of year for sure.
Yep. And I don't know, it doesn't even seem like I can water it enough for it to not cook. It's just I guess just the heat of the sun just does it.
Yeah. It's been hot for sure. It's definitely been hot the last few weeks.
It has been, but I think we've been pretty fortunate to get we've had more rain this summer and like on a consistent basis, it seems like every 2 weeks we have like a good amount of rain. And if we have to skip the second week, it rains on the third week, and that's still uncommon. Usually at like right now, they're like, we're on a 110-day dry spell and it's been 20 days over 95.
yeah. Usually it stops raining in April and we don't see it again until like October. So it has been very nice.
Yep. Yeah. So speaking of the difference between when it like April and October and raining, what are some like what are some like key things that you could give advice wise to people for their yard at the moment?
Yeah, so the big thing, like you kind of mentioned, like mold spots. We're seeing right now, not typical every single year, but definitely this year we're seeing a lot of funguses, brown patch fungus specifically here in town because of the humidity, all the rain, all the humidity. Grass, like every other living organism, it develops a tolerance and a consistency to certain weather types and different things. So our grass types have always just developed a routine of being used to being dry this time of year. So now when they're getting all this water, all this humidity, people are seeing those brown spots and their first instinct is, oh, it's dry. And so they're going to pour a ton of water on it. And that's actually could potentially be making the problem worse. Sometimes it is dry. But definitely like, in an instance of that, like if you're seeing brown spots in their lawns, definitely calling somebody before they just think they're going to remedy it with water, because you could actually be making the issue worse.
Just spreading the fungus.
Yeah, more. Exactly. Just feeding it more moisture, which is going to make it spread. And a lot of people, there's this misconception out there that, I need to water my yard at night, or I should water my yard in the middle of the day because that's when it needs it the most. And those are actually the absolute worst 2 times ever to water your yard. Watering at night, there's nothing to evaporate it. There's nothing to dry it up. So that moisture just sits in your lawn all night long. It's where you see mushrooms and mold actually growing on your lawn.
And I'm a late evening, not overnight, but it's like after 5, whenever the heat of the day is kind of done, until really the sun goes down, then that's whenever I kind of go out and shut the water off. But it's mostly, in my opinion, it's like to kind of let the water actually soak in, do its thing before it evaporates through the day. Because like in the morning, it seems like I could water for like an entire hour, and an hour later that whole area of my yard is just doesn't look like I ever put water on it. Yeah,
definitely that is the best 2 times. First, early in the morning, like sun up time, or right before the sun sets, because that's going to allow the lawn to use what it needs and let the rest evaporate off.
Okay.
If you're watering like in the middle of the day, I see it all the time driving through neighborhoods. People are watering their yard in the middle of the day.
Grass to death.
And it's like, what happens if you've got a hot skillet on a stove and you pour water on it? Well, that's what you're doing to your lawn too. It's just cooking it, steaming it, and it's just it's extremely unhealthy.
Yeah, bad for the root system.
Yeah, there's a lot of things people think lawn care is a waste. They think it's overly expensive. They think, do one thing one time and it's going to solve your problems. Well, it's, like I always tell my people, compare it to the gym. Like, you want to lose 50 pounds, you're going to go to the gym one day, or are you going to go to the gym consistently?
Yeah.
Same thing with lawn care. It is at the end of the day, a living, breathing organism that needs to be cared for.
Yeah. No. I think one of the things I noticed was that so I've always been kind of a yard guy. We've talked about this myself, but even when I lived at like rent houses, I would always still try to take care of the yard until the summer, where it just got so crazy, water bill and all that. But owning my own house and having like a yard that was almost kind of already set up a little bit for me. It wasn't like great by any means, but it definitely had more grass than a lot of the rent houses that I lived in prior. But I noticed that you don't actually have to water your grass as much once your grass is like established, because there's a lot more shade where it holds the water, uses the water. It doesn't just dry up whenever you put the sprinkler down within 30 minutes, and because there's nothing to protect it really.
Yeah. Grass.
It kind of keeps weeds down also, because it chokes them out before they really get the chance to come up.
Exactly. Yeah. The healthier the lawn, like appearance wise, the thicker, the more lush it is, definitely the healthier it's going to be, because it does, like you said, it shades itself. It prevents weeds from coming up. But that doesn't just happen overnight.
No,
obviously it takes a lot of consistency and a lot of care.
Yep, absolutely. I think so. You said that reminded me where I was like, man, that was one of the first things I noticed when we bought our new house and then moved into it and we're trying to upkeep the yard. It was easier to mow a yard that has grass all over
Absolutely.
it. You know where you're at, you know where to turn around, you can cut it the way you want it and everything. You don't miss spots, and you're not like dreading mowing because you have to like mow in a giant dust cloud. You just mow your yard. So when you said that, that's kind of what that reminded me of. I remembered, man, this is so much easier with a yard that's pretty established.
You start taking care of it and then you quit, you realize how much harder it is to actually get it back to where you wanted it.
Yeah.
So like just keeping up with it year round, and that's what we do. We offer that year round service, so it's just always maintained.
Okay. And so you said the Mosquito Hero, that's kind of a newer development for the Weed Man.
Right. So Mosquito Hero's only a few years old. Weed Man's been around over 50 years. Mosquito Hero's a new kind of like branch within that brand. Within the last, I'd say 5-6 years, kind of really becoming a focus here recently. We didn't do it at all our first year. Last year, we just had a handful of customers, and this year we really were like made it a big focus. And it's been a great addition. Obviously, this year we could have not timed it better.
Yeah,
we're more lucky. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of luck involved. It was a really rainy season, but definitely there's been a high demand for mosquito treatment. Obviously, the city doesn't do a ton. They spray some parks here and there, but it's been definitely a nice bonus to our business this year.
Yeah, no, I think it's different. In a small town, one mosquito truck can pretty much drive every alley across the town in about a week. And somewhere here, you'd have to have a whole fleet of those trucks driving around for an entire month trying to get the whole city.
Right. Yeah. You'll see them running through the parks. I know I caught them doing Southwest Park here not too long ago, but you don't see them very often do anything for the city. So obviously there's other people in town that do it, a lot of exterminators, but I think there's enough demand that it's definitely made sense for us to take it on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. So back to the group. So whenever you came into the group, were you at a good level already? You were just kind of like, this could help me? Or were you like at a point where you were kind of saying like, I need something to help this thing out and make it more successful long run wise than what I got going on right now?
Yeah, we were stable for sure. Like we were at a good point. But there was definitely some thoughts of, all right, we need to do something. Social media marketing, Google marketing only goes so far. Definitely, we live in a little big city. Absolutely. Where word of mouth is key. You know, we probably get more word of mouth referrals than we do Google leads, honestly. So that's kind of what played into it. Is we do okay on Google. People read our reviews, but really they're going to go to read the review after somebody says that use this company. So that was kind of the decision. Like, I'll come check it out. Tony swore up and down by it. So I came and checked it out, and it's definitely, you can definitely feel, took about 3-4 months before there was really some traction on anything. But after that, it's been, I mean, referrals left and right has been great.
Worth it. Yeah. Yep. I would agree. I think the group is good for that as far as coming in. It's a different kind of group because it's a group that we all are more of a tight-knit family kind of feel. And so it's like we want to get to know each other and everything before we just start just shelling out business to people. You want to know that the people that you're involved with are taking care of the things that they say they take care of, that they are who they say they are. And I mean, in all essence of it, it's just like anybody can come in and put on a good front, but it's nice to know that whenever you start to get to know everybody in the group, that people are people. They are who they say they are. You can depend on them for the things that they tell you that you can depend on them for. And I think once you figure that out, that's whenever the referrals start coming in. It's like it's the trusting in the group and kind of trusting in the process.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the people are the big part. Things we do within the community, you know, the community is going to see your group out there and they're be like, who's involved in that group? And then they're going to recognize your businesses, and it all kind of comes full circle for sure.
Yeah. Yep. I think so. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to let anybody know about Mosquito Hero or Weed Man that, you know, that we may haven't have discussed or that people just wouldn't think of?
Yeah, I think, you know, there's a lot of, you know, going into Mosquito is Mosquito. I mean, you know, the purpose of it, it's, you know, they're to prevent the diseases and everything that they do carry. You know, really lawn care is like, people think it's, you know, a kid's game or it's not a sound business, but really, like, yeah, kids get out there and mow. But, you know, if you really want to get into really the health and the development of a lawn to add that property value, you know, there's all kinds of reports and data that says a healthy lawn, a good looking lawn, a green lawn is going to add 10, 12, 15% property value if you're trying to sell your home. Just, you know, understanding what the importance of it is, but not only the importance of it, but the importance of who you have do it. There's so many people that will tell you, hey, I can do this for you. I'll fertilize your lawn whenever I come mow it. Or, oh, you don't need to spray herbicides. Herbicides are extremely toxic and unsafe. Well, they can be, like, in the wrong hands. Incorrectly. Yeah. But what people don't know about lawn care, especially the lawn care industry, is so heavily regulated. We have to be licensed. Some states don't require it. Texas does require, like, you are licensed. You have to pass tests. You got to stay certified every year. You know, take extra courses every year to keep certified. But not only that, like, man, we're more heavily regulated than a lot of the industries that you trust with your life. So there's a lot of regulation that we have to go through. So just understanding, like, who you're dealing with, and if you've got somebody coming to put herbicides out on your property, don't be afraid to ask them if they're licensed.
Yeah.
Are they licensed? And secondly, are they insured? Are they trained?
Yeah, because these guys are dealing with not just your yard, your kids, your dogs, your family members that come over. I mean, anything that touches your yard. Yeah,
exactly. If they're not paying attention and they spill a chemical in the drainage ditch, well, that's going down into your water supply. Right? So there's a lot of regulation, even all the way down to the way we dispose of our chemical jugs that are empty. Like, there's certain things we have to do. If we don't, we get fined. So definitely, just, that's always my advice. I don't care if you do business with me or Joe Blow down the street. Just make sure you're doing it right and checking to make sure that they are, like I said, licensed, insured, properly trained.
Yeah. No, I think you should probably do that with just about anybody you use for any kind of service. Make sure that you know like I was talking about the group, who they are, that they are who they say they are. They take care of the things that they say they're going to take care of, and they care about what's going on with what they're doing for you.
That's right. Yeah. The care will definitely come out and be seen in everything that people do.
Yeah, no, I think so. Well, hey, this has been a good podcast. I appreciate you for coming in. Like I said, we're so glad to have you in the group. You've helped us out. You've taken on leadership responsibilities when not asked to, and helped the group out. And so we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Glad you're here.
No, we're glad to do it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us on the AEX podcast, the After Hours podcast. Next time we'll see y'all. We'll have 2 different guests, and it'll be a good time. We'll be right back.